minute. Who are you?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So we are here with my brother, JC the Blind Jedi.
Hey, everybody.
We're actually going to be doing something a little bit different than what you've been used to seeing on my channel. I know it's been a little bit, but we are actually going to be doing some MMA content, starting with predictions for the next UFC event that's coming up, UFC 255. So let's get into it. We're just going to give you our thoughts on who's fighting and make some selections, and we'll see who's right and who's wrong. So, you know, main card on this is filled with a lot of people that majority of fans that don't really follow the sport know, but it's still a very good card.
This isn't a big name card.
No.
You're not going to recognize a lot of the names. You're not going to be familiar with most of them. But that's the difference. We do.
Yeah, no, we do.
We've been watching this for years.
Absolutely. So the first thing we want to talk about is a fight that's not on the main card, but you should definitely check out because it could dictate who's going to be the next contender for the flyweight title. We got Brandon Moreno versus Brandon Royval. This is a super good fight. If you look at it on paper, you would be like, I don't really know much about these guys. What you need to know is that this is number 2 versus number 6.
Yes, exactly. You don't need to worry about... This is a simple numbers game that you just look at what they are on the paper and you say, oh, look, 2 good guys or 2 top 10 guys are fighting. Usually when you're in the top 10, you're looking for a title fight. Yeah. Especially 6 through 1, especially.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They're both on an incredible streak right now. They're both doing great. A lot of people have, if you've been watching the UFC, you've been hearing, you know, Brandon Moreno coming up. Mm-hmm. He's beaten a list of who's who. He's done a great job of really kind of solidifying that number 2 spot. The one that people are kind of scratching their heads about is Brandon Royval. Now, what people don't know is he came in, beat a ranked guy.
Oh, that's right. He did. That's right. He just came in right off the street. That's right, and beat that ranked guy. That's right.
So he's taken down a couple of the top ranks, and he was actually fighting before he came to the UFC. He was fighting for the flyweight title. Yeah. In LFA, I believe, is what it was called. Let me grab my notes real quick. I'll make sure that's exactly what it is. It's the it's Legacy Fighting Alliance is what it is, and he was on a 2-fight win streak before he came into the UFC. He immediately came in and beat Tim Elliott, Tim Elliott's a warrior.
Yeah. That's not an easy fight at all.
Not at all. Tim L has been around for a long time. He's been in and out of the UFC multiple times, and it was crazy how dominant he was able to make this. This right here is the fight, like I said, could easily be number 1 contender for the flyweight title. Especially
since the flyweight title is already up at the top of the card.
Yeah. Both guys have been knocking down people left and right. Nobody's really coming in off of like a big, huge win streak, but they've been knocking down top-ranked guys left and right.
Well, the Royval, that's the whole thing about it, is that the pandemic really threw everything into chaos. I mean, everybody, that was just it. And for anybody that doesn't know, my son trains amateur, and he knows a lot of the pro guys, and they are looking for fighters all the time.
Yeah. And
they're constantly. He said, by 6 amateur fights, they're calling you up to the contender series already.
Yeah.
So this was the time he took that opportunity and he knocked on the door and then he kicked the door down.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Royval, his last fight was in September, so pretty fresh. For Moreno, it was March, He was coming in off of a decision, which isn't bad. I didn't get a chance to watch that fight, so I'm not going to act like he didn't get it by fair or anything like that. But this was actually a fight that they moved off of the main card to the prelim main event, which I'm not happy about because it is a great fight, and I think if you get a chance, it's free, so definitely go watch it because you're going to see two guys that are really going to leave everything.
Yeah, it's going to be on the cable TV, so you might as well check it out. You won't have to pay for the pay-per-view. Let us idiots do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, with that in mind, I think we should pick that one, even though it's not on the main card. But personally, I'm going with Royval in this. I think due to the fact that he's had the title experience in the previous fight league that he was in, I think that is going to be a huge factor in this. And he's got nothing to lose. I mean, if he loses, it's not really going to be too bad for him. So Royval, just as he was sitting here piping him up, has 100% grappling accuracy. My brother loves the strikers, as does my son, and I always warn them, don't put your money on the strikers because they get pinned up against the wall and it's over. And when a guy has got grappling accuracy, I really don't want to go up against something like that. So absolutely not.
We're going to stay the same on this one right now.
No, that's yeah. So
that's really how it should be looked at right there. Because man, that's impressive. That's really impressive. That's better than Khabib numbers, especially since we watched Gaethje's stuff one last.
Absolutely, it's crazy.
So yeah, good luck to him. We're picking Royval in this matchup. So that's at the top of the hour, right before the main event.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Yep. On to the next fight, the first fight of the main card. We have Mauricio Shogun Hua, legend.
Oh, of course.
Number 14 versus Paul Craig, number 15. Now, this is actually an interesting matchup because these guys have already fought.
Yes. Yeah,
and
this is a rematch, so you can call this Mauricio Shogun Hua versus Paul Craig 2?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah. Great.
The thing about it was after going back and watching their first fight, and then looking at the numbers, how Paul Craig didn't win is kind of baffling.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking the same thing because it's obvious that Hua is on the downslide.
Oh no, absolutely.
It's obvious he's just fighting out for money and contract right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had a couple of good spots. But I don't see how Craig didn't walk away, at least with a majority decision, if not a unanimous. I mean, I'm not exactly sure how that one happened. So
no, and that's the thing is that neither one of these guys are really coming up on any kind of impressive wins. They're not coming off of anything major.
This is a personal grudge match, I think is what it is.
Yeah, I think it's just we didn't get to settle it the first time, so let's settle it now. For Paul, he had a submission win in July, and I mean he's won 3 of his last 5. With a loss, and then obviously the draw in there. But again, I mean he's not really strong against a striker, which Mauricio definitely knows how to do.
Yeah, I would put more on Shogun's striking if it wasn't for his age, and you can just tell he's a lot slower.
Yeah. I
mean, from the times when we were watching him fight, who were we watching? The Liddell fight.
Yeah.
I mean, when he, you could just tell he was a step faster than Liddell in that fight when he knocked him out from that clawing hook.
Yeah.
That literally, you could tell he was a step faster. And in this, I see Mauricio being that Chuck Liddell now. He's that step slower.
Yeah.
And I really don't see how Paul Craig is really going to do this. keeping with that wrestler's mentality, dude, he should go and tackle Mauricio. If he's this old, then the joint's got to be stiff.
Yeah. I mean, Mauricio's last win, you know.
Did he beat Nogueira?
Yeah, he beat
a little nog. He beat a little nog.
So it's not like it was something to be like, oh man, you really beat a guy.
That was like a show in Brazil.
Yeah.
That was like the Brazil show, and hey, yay, we got two legends. That was like a legends fight more than it was anything else. So
yeah, I mean, Vanderlei wanted Chael to apologize for what he said about the Brazilian people, but that right there was a disservice to the Brazilian people. No, I mean, you know, in this one, I think it's pretty obvious where we're both kind of leaning. I'm for sure leaning more with Paul Craig.
Yeah, I really don't see this going. I will say though that Mauricio doesn't give up unless he's knocked out.
Yeah,
I mean, this could go to a decision.
Yeah,
but
it'd be funny if it went to a draw again. I mean, I would laugh. I would die laughing if it did.
Oh man, you got me reminding of Gray Maynard and Frankie Edgar. But yeah, I'm going with Paul Craig on this one. I don't see how Mauricio is going to get this one. Good luck to him, but yeah. Okay, so the next fight is Katlyn Chookagian versus Cynthia Calvillo. To start off with, this is like I think the third fight we've seen Katlyn fight in during the pandemic.
Yeah,
alone. This will be her third fight, and I don't think we've seen her win this year.
No.
Versus Cynthia Calvillo, who also has a pretty lackluster career. It says here she's 9-1-1, and the 1-1 are in the last three fights.
Yeah.
So
she last picked up a win over Jessica I, but it was by decision. So it's not like anything was definitive. Again,
you know. I'm going to take Calvillo just because I'm tired of watching Katlyn Chookagian fight this year. I'm sorry. I have not been impressed by her any time I've seen her fight. We just watched her just get beat up by Jessica Andrade.
Yeah, I'm as well going to go Calvillo. I mean, I'm not. I know we're agreeing a lot right now, but the fact that you're coming in after losing to Jessica and the way she lost.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what really kind of sells it for me. I mean, if she was just...
I'm not afraid of getting kicked by her.
I mean, she was just knocked out. I mean, if she was knocked out in the first round, I mean, it's something that you have to take into account.
Yeah.
You know?
I just, you know, maybe she's fighting out her contract so she can do something else.
Yeah.
Or maybe she's trying to buy a house. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely interesting. So, I don't know.
I just can't in good conscience pick Chookagian again right now. So I'm gonna take Calvillo, and I'm pretty sure he is going to.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. But moving on, we're moving on to the always entertaining Mike Perry versus Tim Means.
Ooh, Mike Perry.
This is one that they just recently added. So I am a little unprepared because I got prepared, you know, a couple days ago. So for me, Mike Perry obviously is a polarizing kind of guy. You either know him one of two ways, as a crazy guy who should be locked up in a cage and not fighting in it, or you're like, oh yeah, it's that crazy guy who, you know, just yells and screams at people and does weird things. You know, I mean, he's, you know, I guess either way, you really think that he's just a weird guy. He's not your normal character. I mean, I enjoy watching. I enjoy watching him.
He's great, but I don't think anybody has ever told him no in his life.
Yeah, no, you can definitely tell.
You can definitely tell he's not receptive to a failure or the word no at all.
Like, parents, this is what happens when you don't spank your child. Okay, like, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. You know, and nothing against. I mean, you know, however he is, he's outspoken. That's not. But he is exciting in the cage.
Yes,
very. And he's explosive. He's dynamic. He picks you up. He puts you down. He punches you in the face. He's got great ground and pound. He's got pretty good stand-up. He's an awesome wrestler. as opposed to Mike Perry.
I mean, Tim Means.
Tim Means, excuse me. Yeah, Tim Means. I mean, he's a place sitter. He's a place sitter.
Yeah, he's not the kind of guy. He's almost kind of that guy that they have in the division. It's almost like a gatekeeper, you know.
Yeah,
see where your talent is at. Here you go. You're going against Means, and it's not. That's why it was kind of a head scratcher that this was on the main card, and you know, the Brandons got pulled off.
Back on to Mike Perry and Tim Means. Like he was saying with Tim Means, he's great. He fought on the Ultimate Fighter, but of course he didn't win, and you know he's there to just he is there so for literally he's just a body that just Dana White throws out there. He'll win some, he'll lose some, and he'll make his money, and that's pretty much what he's there for.
Yeah,
he's not gonna crack the top 5.
No.
And he's not going to be able to challenge for a title. He may prove me wrong, but I doubt it. But Perry, he needs to be he's on that track right now.
No, and Perry's actually on a good trajectory. I think
he had the injury early on, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had the injury early on, and then he really picked himself up afterwards. So.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely had an issue in his last couple fights, not performing up to par. But I think getting a little bit refocused. Mike Perry's always been just such a warrior, and I don't think he's going to allow himself to kind of stay in the slump that he's in right now.
I don't think he is either. I think he's way too way too committed, and he's too focused of an individual to let a lot of outside things deal with it. He's very like I said, he's got one of those very, very explosive personalities. It's just very polarizing. But by the same token, we're not going to see him popping champagne and walking around with strippers like Colby Covington. It's just two different totally types of ways of expressing yourself, and but it's based off of the same type of personality traits.
Yeah, no, and I don't know. I mean, for this one, for me, I think my gut is telling me to go with Mike Perry because I know he's always definitely about being that kind of guy. So I'm gonna stick with my gut.
Yeah. Wow. You know what? I do want to give Mike Perry the benefit of the doubt, and I don't know if Tim has got enough. I don't know if he's got enough in this current camp, in his current last few fights, to really show that he can bring it over onto somebody like Mike Perry. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with Mike Perry too. I don't see Tim getting over this one. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, though. I do not think it's going to be a blowout. I really think that Mike is going to be pushed. He's going to have to test, and he's going to dig down deep, and somewhere in there you're going to see Mike come out at the very end and really finish this off.
So yeah, we're both for Mike Perry. So I do want to clear one thing up. Tim Means was actually not on the Ultimate Fighter.
Okay. But
that was his biggest drawing card that he was on.
Okay, that's probably why I got it mixed up. I'm not sure who I'm I'm not going to confusing him with, but he's been around forever, so that's how forgettable he is. I know I've heard the name before, but
it sounds really mean, but I mean he does have that typical fighter look of basically every guy you see on the Ultimate Fighter, which it sounds really bad, but yeah, most Ultimate Fighter contestants all look alike.
Especially after 25 seasons of it now.
Yeah, no, it's been quite a bit.
So Yeah, I apologize to Tim Means for mistaking you for somebody who I don't even remember. So, okay, so that brings us up to the co-main event, which is
Valentina Shevchenko versus Jennifer Maia.
Off the bat, we're not even gonna.
This isn't even up for debate at all.
Jennifer's not winning this.
No,
we're not even gonna just.
I know you were talking about after this you would like to see Valentina in a super fight.
Yeah, Weili Zhang. Yeah, the 115er, the one that made Johanna and Jędrzejczyk look like Frankenstein.
Look like Quark from Star Trek. If you don't know who that is, right here. So you can see the comparison. No, I think a super fight would be great. I don't want to see her fight Amanda again.
No, I don't want to see her fight Amanda again. I think that would be I
think until somebody else comes up, that's really the only route to go.
Yeah,
there's not a whole lot that you can do when she's beat everybody inside the top 5 with ease.
So the main event is Davison Figueiredo versus Alex Perez.
Now let me first off and say one thing. I think that Figueiredo has one of the coolest nicknames of all time. You guys are about to see Xerxes. There he was. One moment. All right, sorry about that interruption. But no, Figueiredo has the coolest nickname. If you want to say it?
Deus de Guerra?
Yeah. Translated into God of War.
Yes.
One of my favorite video games of all time. I was like, oh man, that is the coolest. I didn't know that about him. He has come up quickly. A lot of people didn't see his rise, mainly because this flyweight division has been on lock for so long.
First it was Demetrius,
and
Mighty Mouse, and then
you had Henry Cejudo came in, and
bored everybody again.
And literally all he did was fight Dillashaw, and then it was like,
oh, I'm the greatest of the world. I quit.
We do not like Henry Cejudo at all. Appreciate him as a fighter. He's a very good fighter, but his head is just oversized. But no, I mean, the division has been just bombarded and just with all this talent that now has an opportunity.
Yeah.
And you're getting to see guys come up quick, and for people that haven't been paying attention to the division, it feels even quicker than what it already is. So
no, it's the exact same thing. Like just when we just watched when we watched Jones leave.
Yeah. And
we've been watching all these guys. We just watched. Oh my God, was it Glover Teixeira just beat Santos? We didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Blakovic, he got the belt. He took it off of Reyes.
And
so I mean
that right there is it
just shows that once one guy leaves, the floodgates open for everybody else, and so it really makes the division exciting again. Because God knows the last time John Jones sold out.
Make the divisions great again. So no,
back to Davison. So he was on, and he was featured heavily in the Fight Island behind the scenes that the ESPN ran.
Yeah.
And the thing about him is him making weight. And when you saw the videos of him and everything, you're like, this guy walks around at like 160, 170 pounds.
Yeah, how he cuts down. I mean, if you look at him,
he is just ripped.
Here's a picture of him. So as you can see, super ripped.
Yeah, like Finn Balor ripped.
Yeah, I mean he's completely shredded, which makes you realize that this guy, when he's ready, can move up at any time.
Oh yeah. I mean 35, 45. Yeah, he'll be fine.
And
he's got the size too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's 5'5", 5'6", so yeah, he can fight at 35 and 45. You got Xerxes back?
We got Xerxes back.
All right, we got Xerxes back. Okay, so
no, and honestly, I mean, looking at the division rankings right now that I have pulled up, you can definitely tell that this division is heavy with talent.
yes,
This is what Demetrius Johnson wanted, but he would have just beaten all these guys. I'm a huge Mighty Mouse fan.
I know,
You can't
I
tell. No, I mean, and even looking over at Perez. I mean, Perez has beaten some of the top guys as well. I mean, he's 4-1 in his last fights, in his last 5 fights.
as far as Davison goes, yeah, he is dominant. He is there. He is, man, he's got a finish and a submission record.
Yeah.
So it's not like this is going to be an easy fight for either one of them. But Alex is just as tough.
No, absolutely. I mean, this is a really good fight.
This is a good title fight.
Yeah, this absolutely.
This isn't going to be a walkthrough like the match we think the previous one's going to be.
Yeah.
This one should go. I'm thinking this one goes the distance.
I'm actually will be surprised if it does.
Really?
Because honestly,
Then again, watching Davison in his last 2 fights, man, he finished Benavidez.
Yeah, he beat the crap out of Joseph Benavidez. And,
yeah, he did.
It's gonna be crazy because Benavidez is still one of the top guys in the division.
Oh yeah, he is.
And for him to get handled like that, first he gets,
For
KO.
The first one, when he got the headbutt and then the KO, and then then when they went back to Fight Island,
he got submitted. So
yeah.
I mean, it's crazy to think that he just dominated a top ranked fighter like that.
Yeah.
2 times. So
and he just showed up. It's not like we were big Davison Figueiredo fans before this.
No.
But we knew Joseph Benavidez was
everybody. Everybody does.
Yeah,
everybody does.
I
mean,
ever since Megan O'Leary.
Yeah, that's funny. No, and for this one, I mean, it's kind of a hard coin flip for me because I mean both guys have really been kind of on a tear lately, and
I'm watching the because I watched a couple of the other recaps of their fights, and with Figueiredo, it's pure power.
Yeah,
it's pure power, and he establishes as well. Alex is a little bit more of a technical fighter.
Yeah,
you can tell he puts a little bit more strategy and thought into his effort. It's not to take anything away from Figueiredo. It's just that he executes his game plan first and starts it, and he doesn't deviate. He doesn't need to deviate.
Yeah, you can tell that the rehydration after the weigh-in definitely is to his benefit.
Oh yeah,
he definitely walks in heavy, and he likes to feel a little bit heavier, and he definitely shows that he is definitely going to be the powerhouse in whatever match he's going into.
Yeah, he wants that big strength advantage when he goes in.
Let's get into pick. Let's get into pick.
Let's get into the pick. So I'm gonna take in Figueiredo. I'm gonna say the 4th or 5th round though. I don't think this is going to be real fast. I do think this is going to last out a while, but I do think Figueiredo gets the win. If it's not a decision, it will be a late round finish.
Okay. Well, this right here is the first time that we're going to disagree. Okay. We'll disagree a lot more as we're doing these, but I'm actually going to go with Perez. I think Perez's last win was by KO.
Okay.
And I think he's got enough in the tank to kind of withstand the early onslaught
barrage.
And be so technical enough to where almost kind of like where you see with Mayweather when he's boxing. I mean, it's like, yeah, you can bring all that power you want. You're not going to tag me enough to where it's going to hurt. He just is such a smart fighter. And
yeah, that's I think I alluded to that earlier. He's got such a great, smart game. You can tell he's a very technical,
absolutely
smart fighter.
And I don't think he's not an underdog enough and not afraid to walk in there. I mean, it's a hard pick to make, because I do enjoy watching guys just go in there and bang. And I love a good grappling match as well.
Yeah.
But I can really appreciate Perez's ability to be able to just kind of keep his distance, but he still has enough power to knock him out.
This will be this will be one that we are going to be watching intently.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that this is the first one that we're going to disagree on. If you've been keeping track, or if you want to keep track, make sure, and then we'll go ahead and we'll go over how well we did on the review.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And so we'll recap the fights and go over everything, and then we'll kind of see where the fighters are headed to after this. You know, what do we think the fighters should be doing with their wins, their losses, where they should be going.
Yeah.
Upcoming fights, we'll get all into it. This is an exciting time to be a fan, to be a UFC fan. We're going to keep putting these out. We're going to keep enjoying this little back and forth that we keep on going, and so keep on looking out for our content.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, all my links are going to be down below, like they always are. So please leave a like and a follow on. And he actually has a YouTube channel that he currently took down. He's doing a little bit of work, kind of reworking some things.
So actually, yeah, I'm going to be starting on my YouTube channel again. What had happened, real quickly, is that I had I'd taken some videos for the pandemic, and I had bought some products for my lightsaber reviews, and the pandemic slowed everything down, so I didn't have any product to put out or any content to put out. And then when I went back, all of my account had been hacked, and I had these OAN, One America Network, thumbnails all over my videos. So I had to take the whole thing down. But I will be coming back with a different type of format. We're not going to do the little usual stuff. We're going to make this a little bit more edgier. We're going to have a little bit more fun. I've been thinking more of an Andy Rooney, Tucker Carlson type of.
That'll be interesting.
You know, to be able to do a little bit of commentary without on the lightsaber community, without just a little back and forth and being informational. We'll have a little.
No, and you know the good part is that what a lot of people don't realize is, which I didn't until you introduced me to lightsabers in general. I mean, first off, he's a huge Star Wars fan. I mean, I would just say nerd. Huge Star Wars nerd, because it's...
Love it. Love being a nerd.
The knowledge is just beyond. Love Star Wars myself, too, so it's super cool. Actually, this is kind of some of the stuff that... This is how he introduced me to it, is this right here. So that's how I got introduced to it. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys tune in and watch, you know, UFC 255, and we'll see you next time.
Leave a like and subscribe.